So I just wanted to start off this video by apologizing to my viewers and subscribers on my absence for a while, but this is for good cause because I've been doing a lot of work to the trenches and other projects such as tanks, which you hopefully will see in the near future. I'm also preparing for an even bigger battle this year. It's going to be set in the Ypres salient, and during World War One, it's going to be the British against the Germans, so that should be pretty interesting. But before that, I'm going to make a follow-up battle to the Battle of Verdun Airsoft battle that I posted about a year ago now. Well, a couple months short of a year. But historically, the battle started the 21st, I believe, and my airsoft battle was the 20th of February, so we were pretty close on those dates. So the battle was officially ended December 18th, which is this Sunday. So in memory of that, I'm going to have about half of the people that I usually do over, and we're going to have a kind of finale of that battle. Hopefully the idea is the French take back their trenches and maybe even try to take the German trench. But all in all, it should be a pretty fun time, and hopefully you guys enjoy it too. So now I'm going to give you a tour of the Allied trench and kind of show you what I've done with it, and as well as the bunkers, the officers' quarters, and the machine gun bunker. And I won't be showing you guys the German trench today because it's unimpressive, to say the least. I've done little to no work to it. So pretty much you guys can tell the Allied machine gun bunker is not yet insulated. I did fill the large gaps with pieces of wood, but in the near future I do plan on insulating it further with spray foam. But you can actually see that window right there. I made a flap for it, so then we can close it up when the machine gun crew is trying to sleep, to block wind and such out, and possibly airsoft bullets, fireworks, stuff like that you might expect in one of my battles. So as you can probably guess by what I just said, we will be sleeping in the trenches this year during the Battle of Ypres, or Ypres, however you want to pronounce that. But which this battle will include night raids and such. So I just hope you guys can enjoy that. So this is pretty much the view you get as the machine gunner for the on-top powers. It's pretty wide angle, and you're pretty protected because, as you can see right there above my finger, is the German machine gun bunker, and you can also see a skeleton and some trees and debris and such protecting actually both the bunkers from being shot at by each other. And obviously this window will not be in place historically, but this was done in just efforts to keep everybody warm while we have the battle this February. So other than that, you guys can see that the supports are up, and there will be bunks running along here eventually. From there you can put your blankets, sleeping bags, what have you. And then along here up to the dirt level, there's going to be tin there and there. And then you can see just a plywood floor and a fire step. So that pretty much wraps up the machine gun bunker. And now let's take a look at the trench. So once you exit the machine gun bunker, you'll see some nice wrapped around tin. And then going to the left, you can see just a small section of trench. And then back behind you to your right, you can see a small fire pit to cook your meals and such. And going further down the trench, you can see fire step here and floorboard here and some more tin. So continuing down the trench to the right, and then we have some dirt here, which is over 6 foot tall, which will soon be replaced by these boards, which then will be replaced by slab wood. The slab wood will go about 6 foot tall. Basically, then we're going to push the dirt back to the slab wood and stack sandbags on top to give the trench more of a deeper feeling. Now continuing down this way, right here we have a sniper's plate, which opens up that little window right there. But down this way we just have some sandbag work and slab wood, and then the fire step. The fire step is not filled in the whole way down, nor is there floorboards the whole way down the trench. But that's pretty much it for the trench part. So now we're going to the bunker. So when you first walk into the officer's bunker, you are first left greeted by a bunk bed. And then further to the right, you are greeted with an officer's desk and chair. And then we have some chairs and stools and lanterns, candles, and stuff like that. So as you can see, the bed is actually made out of chicken wire. A lot of Entente pilots did this in the First World War. And it's actually not as uncomfortable as it looks. It's actually pretty comfortable because of the size of the wire, and once you get like a blanket and such down, you really don't feel the difference between this bed and your regular bed at home. Then obviously we have a upper bunk. And then both bunks are accompanied by a candle and lantern. Then the field desk here, we have a, I guess you could say it's a trench yard. It's really not. Lantern or lamp right up here. It's more or less just a candle. And then the desk has some paperwork holders and pencil holders and whatever else you might want to put in there. I also forgot to mention that the bunks actually have their own gun rack. This is a little bit luxurious, as well as the lamps. But you just hang your rifle here like so. So crawling out into the light, you will be greeted with another section of trench and an unlimited supply of no man's land. Then you can actually just see right there in that German machine gun bunker, there is a Russian Maxim gun. The reason it's there is because I was just having a random game one day, and that's the most reliable base I had available. This isn't totally historically inaccurate, as the Germans really used whatever guns they could and rechambered them. But that pretty much wraps up the Allied trenches and bunkers. So now I'm going to show you what the French are tasked with this weekend. So walking down the hill, we can see more hill. So this is the kind of terrain the French will be expected to move up in. And right there is the captured Entente trench. Still occupied by the Germans as part of the war, as this was one of the first parts or sections of land captured from the French. So even farther down the hill, we have a ditch, which last year had been planned to use as a falling back point and defense. As you can see, if the Germans are coming this way, as soon as they near the crest of that hill, they're just gonna get mowed down. There's actually a machine gun emplacement over there by that big log, but unfortunately this didn't really happen because this is the first trench warfare airsoft battle I have had. I had a small one, but the trenches were flooded and we weren't able to use them as they were farther down the hill. So basically, I stayed last to cover the retreat, and when I got back to the falling back point, everyone was basically just gone, which this was due to my poor mapping skills, which basically led the rest of the French team way across the road at the second falling back point, which is just behind those trucks. In that trailer, you can actually see a little board up there. You should be able to, a couple. But that was supposed to be Fortville, and basically everyone just went back to there. So after everyone went back to Fortville, basically there was only a couple stray Germans that decided to challenge the French positions. Among them was my dad, which you can see late in the video. A artillery shell hits the road and explodes, and then a German comes running across, which is my dad. But none of his team really decided to follow him, and we were actually never forced back from our trenches. So what was supposed to happen was the Germans forced us out of our trench, which never happened. As you can see in the video, the French just fell back on their own, because I didn't want to drag the battle out too long. It was very cold, it was windy, it wasn't very good weather for airsoft. Another helping hand in the French team falling back was that we were kind of running out of supplies, such as airsoft BBs, CO2, green gas, artillery shells. So we didn't want to drag the battle on too long in the same spot, so we fell back. I got here and everyone was already back, and after my dad had made that fatal charge, you can see him kind of get up and start talking to the French team, which we were basically just calling the battle quits, because no other movement other than that action was being done on the German part. So I hope that kind of sums up the last year's airsoft battle, which I can try and explain it a little better if you guys want me to, and I'm actually going to try and narrate the next one. But I also hoped this could show proof that I was busy and not just ignoring my viewers, and my time was put to good use. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you this weekend.